So there is a very, very big difference between shouting black power and shouting white power. So let's quickly and clearly break down the two and see what the difference is. The short answer is black power is a celebration of love, while white power is a declaration of hate. Black power is an affirmation and celebration of the survival and endurance of the African diaspora, especially those that live in colonized lands. Africa as a continent has been ravaged, devastated, and historically erased by Western colonialism. Tens of millions were killed in colonial wars and genocidal conquests, while tens of millions more were commodified into centuries of industrial scale chattel slavery. The survivors of the Western colonial apocalypse, survivors that even in Africa today are often cut off from their history, traditional practices and languages, and ancestral knowledge, have nonetheless survived. And the immense strength, resilience, and love that was needed for that survival is what manifests into black power today. And you see the celebration globally, from Africa itself to the descendants of enslaved Africans in the Americas, as well as Africans brought to Europe to fulfill the worker shortages ironically caused by the colonial empires destroying themselves in two world wars over colonial possession. See, black power is about love. Love for self, love for family, love for community, love for identity. Now compare that to white power. White power has no celebration of any kind because whiteness is not a diaspora. Whiteness is the hate-filled heart of colonial genocidal violence. White power never centers love for anything because colonialism doesn't love anything. It sees the world as nothing but a resource to be killed and stripped for capitalist profit. White power is about hatred of others, not love of self. White power is about violence against others and the assertion of colonial imperialism. There is no pride in being white because there is nothing to be proud of, like literally. There is nothing beneath the surface of white pride but anger, frustration, and greed-driven violence. Now, don't get it, twisted. White people who belong to specific cultures can have pride. Italians can have Italian pride, for example. Italy has a long, rich, complex culture, and that can be celebrated as an act of love. Same with, say, Polish pride or Danish pride or whatever. But white pride celebrates nothing but the violent domination of others. So next time you hear some disingenuous racist ask you, like, why isn't it okay to be white? Ask them what exactly it is that they are proud of, and see if they can name a single thing that isn't a generic colonial power fantasy or some technological advancement that was weaponized to destroy the global south. Ask them to name a single act of love that comes from white pride. The crickets will tell you everything, and I hope that in that moment you will finally see the core underlying issue with all the settler colonial cultures. Anyway, something to think about.